So joining me on the Lewis Nichols Show now, I'm really excited to bring on my next guest. It's Mr. Eddie Edwards. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How are you? Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for coming on. And it's great to get you on because there's so much excitement at the moment with Slammiversary. And this time it feels slightly different because with Impact, especially kind of in the last couple of years, it seemed the pay-per-views didn't get that much hype. Whereas now, everything feels different. Impact has definitely upped their game. The fans have come back to the promotion. And it has one of the strongest rosters, I feel, out of any promotion. So, in your opinion, why do you think that this year, Slammiversary, there's so much hype, there's so much buzz behind it?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we have an absolutely stacked roster. The card for Slammiversary is stacked. There's going to be some amazing matches. There's something for everybody on it. You know, women's matches, tag matches, X Division, world title matches, obviously. I mean, then there's the fact that there's mystery opponents. There's surprises inside, and people coming back or returning or getting here, coming to Impact for the first time. It's just, I feel like it's a perfect storm. There's a lot of stories going on. I feel like the show Impact, the show itself has had some great momentum going forward. Obviously, there's been some moving parts and stuff that has happened, but that hasn't stopped our momentum going forward. And I feel like the momentum for this pay-per-view, the hype, as you said, the excitement, I feel it's next level right now. And I feel it as a performer, and I just hope that the fans all feel the same way.
I mean, being honest as a fan, this is the first year in a long time that I've been so excited in the kind of sense where I'm ready to stay up and watch it because it's the speculation. It's got so much of that energy around it. Like you said, who could be coming returning. There's so many hot free agents out there at the moment. Who's going to show up. So for you at the moment, with there being so many talented free agents, is there anybody that you've kind of looked at and thought, I'd love to work with them, I'd put on some great matches with?
Oh, I would have to be a little selfish in this one, where EC3, he's a friend of mine, and he's somebody who has done so much for TNA and Impact in the past. I feel like having him come back would be a great thing. I know that, he can have great matches with everybody. I would love to have matches with him, so I would feel him coming back would be a really cool thing. But there's like you said, there's so many free agents that the options are endless almost. So I look forward to seeing who comes back or who comes into Impact, and then I'll be able to hope for those matches with guys that I've never wrestled before. So I look forward.
And another thing that I love and you can see it so clearly when you watch Impact, it's like the roster have the chance to really show who they are. They get to be creative, and it feels like it's a place you can work and be yourself and really showcase your talent. So does that make it easy for you as a performer as well, that you kind of get that blank canvas where they trust you to go out there and do what you want to do and what you feel will work?
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. With Impact, between the front office and creative and the locker room, there's an open door policy. We have a lot of back and forth, and we have input in character stuff, promo stuff, obviously in-ring stuff. And for the most part, we get a lot of time, or get a good amount of time for TV matches where guys can go out and they can capitalize on that. Especially now, a lot of people obviously stuck home during the pandemic and everything, and people want to watch. You need an escape, and Impact.
So welcome back, Eddie. We had a bit of a connection problem then.
Sorry.
No problem. I tell you, it'd be good actually to find out, where did your love for wrestling actually come from? Was it something that you always enjoyed as a kid when you were growing up?
For me, it was as I was a really young kid. I was into Hulk Hogan and Warrior, Macho Man, and all those guys. And I fell out of it for a few years until I came. I was about 14, and my younger brother actually kind of reintroduced it to me, and it was weird. It was like from the moment I started watching, and it wasn't one thing, it wasn't one wrestler, it wasn't one event. It was just like wrestling in general, pro wrestling in general. I was like, I need to be a part of it, and then I've been hooked ever since then.
And with wrestling, you've obviously got two sides. You've got the athletic side, but you've also got the ability to need to connect with an audience, the performance side. So was that something that came naturally to you, or did you have to put a lot of work in to kind of get that?
I think that's something that comes over time. So obviously some people are different, but for me, myself, it was, it came over time, because at first, just focused on the in-ring stuff and what I had to do and this and that. But, as the years go on or as you have more matches, you realize the connection, the unique connection that you can have with the live crowd and with the crowd at home. So for me, it was more over time, but it's still something that, you're always kind of learning. You're always learning in pro wrestling. But, the fan interaction and the live crowd is something that it's hard to explain what it is, because it does give you this adrenaline. It gives you, you can get to that next level by using that crowd and feeding off of them as they feed off of you. It's a very unique relationship.
And what were your family's reaction when you kind of said to them, look, I'm going to become a professional wrestler? Were they supportive? Because I guess it's not an average thing for a child to say to their parents, look, I'm going to be a wrestler, because they might have had ambitions for you to be a doctor, a fireman. So were they supportive of that choice?
Yeah, I got lucky. My family, they were very supportive. I don't know. I think at first maybe they thought it was a phase, or, he's just going to go to wrestling school. But I don't think they ever saw it becoming what it became, or because they couldn't feel, they didn't know how I truly felt. I knew that I had to be a pro wrestler, so they couldn't sense. All I could do is tell them, and they're like, yeah, okay, well, let's see what happens. But then, year after year, I'm still wrestling, and they've been supportive all along. My little brother, actually, he lent me money so I could join wrestling school. So I've been lucky.
That's amazing. And another thing with you, I've always felt, is you've always got this ability to connect with an audience, like you were talking about a little earlier. Whatever you do, as fans, we just connect to it. And working with Davey Richards as well, you both have this natural chemistry. So do you think that's why the fans got behind you both as a team, because of your chemistry that you do have together? Yeah,
I think they can feel, they're watching us in the ring, and they can feel, if you're comfortable, or if you're not comfortable doing something. I feel that the fans can sense it, whether we all realize it or not. I think subliminally or subconsciously, you can tell if somebody's not comfortable doing what they're doing. So I think the fact that me and Davey, from the first time me and Davey were tagged, we had unreal chemistry. Like, we could just kind of, see what the other, imagine what the other was thinking before he even does it. And that continued over time. Like, every time we wrestled, it was more and more and more. And I think fans can see that, they can sense it, and can also relate. Obviously, at the moment, for Slammiversary, you all want the same thing in the Fatal 4-Way. So what can we expect from you? With me, it's every match is the same but different, if that somehow makes sense. Like, every match I go out there, I put the pressure to myself. I have the pressure to go out there and deliver. And obviously everybody in my match and everybody on the whole show, on Slammiversary in general, we all want to go out there and steal the show. So for me, it's to go out there and just kind of test myself, push myself to the limit and beyond the limit, and see what we can create. I know that we're going to have the chance to go out there and do something special. I know that Slammiversary overall is going to be a special event. So I want to be sure that, we're the bookend, we're that exclamation point on an amazing event. And we can do that by putting on a hell of a main event. And the last question I want to ask is more from me being a fan of you, to be honest, because in your career so far, you've achieved so much. And you've done so much. It's only when you look at everything that you've achieved, it's kind of like, wow. I mean, I don't know if you ever get a stage where you're just at home and kind of like, yeah, I've done pretty well. But for you, what would you say is your career highlight so far? Is there a moment that stands out to you as something that you'll never forget? Yeah, there's been a few, but, obviously the first time, not the first time, but the time I won the TNA championship, that was a huge deal, being an Impact for a few years and, coming as a tag team and be able to go on, to single solo success, that was obviously a big deal. And then in Pro Wrestling Noah, being the only foreigner to win the GHC Heavyweight Championship, that's something that, I'll never forget. And, it's funny to look at, take time or even just to take a second and realize the history books and stuff like that and what I've been able to do. I've been very blessed, and I don't take anything for granted, so I try to enjoy it, at the time. But, those two moments are two big moments that stick out in my mind. Well, Eddie, I want to thank you so much for your time today. It's great to talk about your time in Impact, but also where it all started for you as well. It's just nice to hear
that different kind of side of your life. So good luck for Saturday. We're all going to be rooting for you here in the UK. That's on Fight TV, Slammiversary. Thank you so much for your time, and have lots of fun.
Thank you, man. I appreciate the support for Impact and for myself. And Slammiversary will not disappoint, so I look forward to hearing your thoughts on it, man.
Incredible. Thank you very much. Take care.